Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Rita and in today's episode I will explain what is BR code. So what is BR code? BR stands for basic rate and will mean that your income at that source or from this source will be taxed at 20%. All taxpayers in UK has a tax-free personal allowance which year on year might change. For tax year 2021-2022, your personal allowance is £12,570. And often you will be taxed for every penny after this personal allowance. However, if you are given BR code, you will be taxed for all incomes that you receive from this income source. So, if you are given BR code, that will mean that all your income that you receive will be taxed at 20% without considering or without taking into consideration your personal allowance. The BR code will be often issued temporarily or for a short time period while your employer gathers all details or information to be able to provide you with a correct tax code and allocate correct personal allowances. There is a couple reasons or situations when your employer may be placing you or issuing you with a BR code. Number one, if you have just recently changed your job but you haven't provided P45 form to your current employer. So your employer will actually not know how much tax you have paid so far in this tax year, nor what kind of or how much you have used from your personal allowances. This is most common reason why employees are put on BR code or, as I mentioned, most commonly known, emergency code. Situation number two, if you change from self-employment to PAYE employment. For example, if you were a sole trader and now you start to work under employer. Number three reason, if you have a second job. So if you currently work under one employment but you undertake another employment, most likely for second employment you will be placed on BR code. And reason number four, if you receive any additional income like a pension. So how you can check if you have been put on emergency code? Most quickest way to do it will be to check your payslip. In about top section nearby national insurance number or tax year, you will see your tax code. If your tax code is not as 1257L, you are most likely put on BR code or emergency code. Also, if you have noticed that your tax have increased month on month, apart from when tax year changes, for example, April 5th is end of tax year. For example, if you have noticed that your tax increased from August to September, between those 2 months, I would suggest to check your tax code. It might have changed. Generally, HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, will advise your employer about any changes of your tax code. So if it's changed, they might have some information or detail about you which need to be maybe clarified. For example, if they think that you have different income or someone reported under your name as a separate income stream, this might change your tax code. So that would be a wise idea to check your tax code constantly to make sure that you pay correct tax on a monthly basis, or if you receive your salary on a weekly basis, then on a weekly basis. So you will possibly ask me how I can change my emergency code or BR tax code. The easiest way, of course, will be if you will provide your employer with P45 form. That is often issued by your previous employer, and you should be using that paperwork or that A4 form and pass it to your current employer. That will allow your current employer to apply correct tax code using that information. P45 form provides detailed information to a new employer of your income received, your taxes paid, and any allowances used. Another way is to fill in P46 form. P46 form is commonly known as starter checklist. It will provide details to your employer if you have previously worked in any other jobs or roles. However, if you think that you are placed on emergency tax code for at least 3 months now, I would suggest you to get in touch with HMRC as soon as possible. Otherwise, you might be paying too much tax. There are 2 ways how HMRC deals with emergency tax codes. For example, if you have paid too much tax. Firstly, they will try to recover it through your current salary and payslip, so they will change your personal tax allowances and etc. to get correct tax amount, what you should be liable to pay across all tax year. Second way, however, if tax year have finished last year or a couple of years before and you've been always paying taxes based on emergency codes or BR codes, you might be liable to receive a refund. This is important for you to get in touch with HMRC and sort your tax code. HMRC will send a letter to your employer notifying what kind of tax code they should be applying to your monthly income or weekly income. It depends how you get paid and taxed. I hope that this episode have helped you to understand what is BR tax code and what you should do if you have been put under this emergency tax code. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching and I will see you in next episode. Ciao!